Oh, hello. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about pretty much of a classic of a camera. This is the Sony ZV-1. This is a compact vlogging camera, but it is so much more. And so the big question is this still good in 2024? And I'm going to answer that question, but I have a feeling that you already know what I'm going to say. But the devil's in the details, guys. So let me explain what makes this camera one of the most underrated cameras of all time. Now, I want to start off with the two things that I do not like about this camera, just so you know, so we don't forget it. It's important that you need to know its limitations, and then we're going to get into the good stuff, so make sure you watch the entire video. Okay, the first thing being the battery life. Unfortunately, the battery life on this thing, it is, I'm going to show you what the problem is. The problem is these batteries are very tiny. Can you even see it? It's really, really small. So that's the biggest problem. It's got a very tiny battery, and that means you can't really record all day. There, I've said it. Now, what you can do is you can, of course, use a power bank connected to this thing. You can record and take pictures while you're connected to the power bank. Of course, that's not very enjoyable, but I mean, when you put it away, you can connect it to a power bank. And also what you could do is you can just get more of these batteries. They aren't too expensive, actually. And so I would definitely consider the battery factor. It's good for a couple of hours. That's all I'm going to say. The second thing I do want to mention is the charging cable that you need to be using for this is a micro USB cable, and it's not bad. Like, it works. You can still charge it, you can use it, and you can use it to transfer files to your computer and stuff like that. The problem is it's not a standard. I would prefer USB-C, which you get in the newer versions. But other than that, all you can really do from here is just being picky. So let me start off by saying what I really enjoy about this thing, because there's a ton of things, so we can only cover a few things. I only have a couple of minutes in this video. So let me start out by saying I love this flip out screen. Sony is fantastic at making these flip out screens, and they're so useful. If you've been using cameras for a bunch of years, you know how useful these things are. It just becomes more flexible. You're vlogging or you're shooting at a lower angle. It's just very nice to have a flip out screen. It also has a zoom lens here, and very good low light performance, despite the fact that this is a 1-inch sensor. So it's not a full frame camera like this. But on the other hand, if you compare the size of these things, this one fits in your pocket. This one definitely does not fit in your pocket. I don't care what size of jeans you wear. It's not going to fly. It's not going to work. You need the Sony ZV-1 for that purpose. Now, it's small, it's compact, obviously. That's why it's known as a compact camera. It's got the flip out screen. It takes very nice pictures, Sony colors, perfect. It records 4K, not an issue. If you don't need that, obviously, you can record in 1080p as well. And one of my favorite features that a lot of people don't talk about is actually the slow motion capabilities of this thing. They record something like 1000 FPS, or it's actually something like 960 in 1080p. Or you can get better image quality by reducing it to something like 500 FPS or 240 FPS, and you get a very nice slow motion camera. Now, it does have fantastic autofocusing. All Sony cameras are brilliant when it comes to autofocusing. And actually, the low light performance of this thing is fantastic. Like, I would not even doubt for a second to record this video using the Sony ZV-1. But the reason I'm not is because I wanted to actually show you this camera in person, So there's that. And when it comes to storage, this actually comes with an SD card reader inside. So you just flip one in and just start recording or taking pictures. And yeah, it's a compact camera. Like, look at the size of this thing. This is all the camera that you need. You can fit it inside your pocket. The only thing you need to concern yourself about is the battery life. It's not great. It's not terrible, okay? But it's not great. And as far as, like, there are newer versions of the Sony ZV-1. And I'll be honest, I'm just not interested in them because they removed a lot of good stuff from this thing, like optical image stabilization, built-in ND filters, zoom also. Like, no, this camera is fantastic and it's underrated. It's got a few years under the belt, but it's still selling. That should tell you something. Despite there being newer versions of this camera, this one is still being sold. So you should definitely consider picking this up. Okay, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this little video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.